My fiancée said, "Your mom can't sit at the head table. She'll ruin the aesthetic for photos." I said, "Whatever makes you happy." Then I called the photographer and canceled everything, including the marriage license appointment. The venue refund check I deposited into my mom's account made her take us both to Italy. Original post I-32 male was supposed to get married in 2 months. Was. Past tense. Let me explain how one conversation about seating arrangements ended a 4-year relationship and a $35,000 wedding. My fiancée Victoria, 29, and I had been planning this wedding for over a year. Well, mostly her planning with me nodding along and writing checks. Country club venue, 200 guests, the works. My contribution was mainly financial. I make decent money as a software architect, and her event planning business was still getting off the ground. My mom, Patricia, 58F, raised me alone after my dad passed when I was 12. She worked 2 jobs to put me through college, never remarried, never complained. She's literally the reason I'm successful today. She's also the sweetest, most unassuming person you'll ever meet. Wears the same 3 church dresses on rotation, drives a 2008 Honda, wouldn't hurt a fly. Last Tuesday, Victoria and I were finalizing the seating chart. She'd been stressed about it for weeks, moving names around like chess pieces. Then she dropped this. "So I've been thinking about the head table situation." What about it? Well, traditionally it's just the wedding party. Bridesmaids, groomsmen. Right, but we agreed our parents would sit there too. Your parents, my mom. About that, I think your mom would be more comfortable at table 3. Table 3? That's not even close to the head table. I know, but hear me out. The aesthetic, the head table is going to be the focal point of every photo. Your mom is lovely, but she doesn't really fit the vibe we're going for. My brain short-circuited. The vibe? You know what I mean. My bridesmaids are all wearing designer dresses. My parents will be in Armani and Vera Wang. Your mom would feel out of place. You're saying my mother isn't good enough to sit at the head table at her own son's wedding? Don't be dramatic. She'll still be there, just at a regular table. With your aunt and cousins, she'll probably be more comfortable anyway. I stared at her, really looked at her. 4 years together, and I was seeing her clearly for the first time. Whatever makes you happy. Relieved smile. I knew you'd understand. It's just one day, and the photos will last forever. She kissed my cheek and went back to her laptop, probably to perfect her precious seating chart. I went to the bathroom, pulled out my phone, and started making calls. First call, the photographer, canceled. Lost the $2,000 deposit. Second call, the venue. Explained there was a family emergency and the wedding was off. They were surprisingly understanding. Since it was over 60 days out, they refunded 80% of our deposit. $8,000 back from the $10,000 we'd paid. Third call, the caterer. Same story. Got back $4,500 of the $6,000 deposit. Fourth call, the florist. Full refund minus a $500 processing fee. Fifth call, our appointment at the courthouse for next week to get our marriage license. Canceled. Took about 45 minutes total. By the time I came out of the bathroom, I'd effectively dissolved our wedding. Victoria was still on her laptop, humming to herself. "Everything okay, babe?" she asked without looking up. "Perfect," I said. That was Tuesday. Wednesday morning, I went to the bank and deposited all the refund checks into my mom's account, about $15,000 total. Then I texted her. "Surprise! Pack your bags. We're going to Italy next month, that trip you always dreamed about." She called me crying, saying she couldn't accept it. I told her it was non-refundable, lie, and I'd already taken the time off work, truth. I'd been saving my vacation days for the honeymoon. Thursday, I started looking for a new apartment. Friday, I signed a lease. Victoria still had no idea. Update 1, 3 days later. The bomb dropped Saturday morning. Victoria had invited her wedding planner friend Cecilia over to go through the final details. They were in the living room with champagne and binders full of fabric samples when her phone rang. The venue. I was in the kitchen making coffee, but I could hear everything. Victoria, hello? Yes, this is she. What? What do you mean? Cancelled? That's impossible. Family emergency? What family emergency? She stood up so fast she knocked over her champagne glass. Cecilia was asking what was wrong. Victoria was getting louder. There must be some mistake. The Blackstone Morrison wedding, February 15th. What do you mean it was cancelled by the groom? When? She spun around and locked eyes with me. I took a sip of my coffee. Victoria, I'll call you back. She hung up. The room was dead silent except for the champagne fizzing on the carpet. Victoria, Derek, what did you do? Me, cancelled the wedding. Gasps. What? You cancelled our wedding without telling me? Seemed like you were making all the decisions anyway, like where my mom gets to sit. This is about the seating chart? Are you insane? No, this is about you thinking my mother isn't good enough for your aesthetic, that she would ruin your photos. Oh my God, Victoria, you didn't. Shut up, Cece. Turning back to me, you cancelled everything over one comment? One comment that showed me exactly who you are. Someone who values appearances over the woman who raised me, who sacrificed everything for me. Victoria started rage crying. Not sad tears, furious tears. Victoria, do you have any idea how this makes me look? I've told everyone. The invitations went out. My dress is being altered. My parents. Oh God, my parents. I'm sure they'll understand. Tell them there was a family emergency. This isn't funny. You've humiliated me. What am I supposed to tell people? The truth? That you didn't want my mom in photos? Cecilia was frantically texting, probably alerting the bridesmaid group chat. Victoria's phone started pinging non-stop. You're gonna fix this, right now. Call them back and rebook everything. Can't. Already got the refunds. Spent them. Spent them? On what? Me, a trip to Italy, for my mom and me. We leave in 3 weeks. Her face went from red to purple. You're taking your mother on our honeymoon? No, I'm taking my mother on her dream vacation. With the money that would have been wasted on a wedding where she wasn't good enough to sit with us. Victoria picked up her phone. I'm calling my dad. He'll sue you for this. That was partly my money too. Actually, if you check our conversations, every vendor payment came from my account. I have the receipts. Your contribution was going to be the honeymoon, remember? This was technically true. She'd insisted on handling the honeymoon as her gift to us, while I handled the wedding costs. Thank God for that arrangement now. Cecilia whispered, Victoria, maybe you should. Victoria, get out. Cecilia grabbed her purse and practically ran. Victoria turned back to me, switching tactics. The tears turned softer, manipulative. Victoria, baby, please, let's talk about this. I'm sorry about what I said about your mom. I wasn't thinking. We can put her at the head table. Me, it's not about the table anymore, Victoria. It's about the fact that you thought it, said it, and expected me to go along with it. What happens after we're married? What other aesthetic choices would you make? Would our kids not be allowed in family photos if they didn't look perfect? You're being ridiculous. It was one comment. One comment that revealed everything. I'm moving out Monday. Where are you gonna go? Your mom's? Got my own place. Signed the lease yesterday. The realization that I'd been planning this for days hit her. The rage came back full force. You've been planning this since Tuesday? Walking around here, letting me plan, knowing you'd already canceled everything? Me, yep. You're a monster. No, I'm a son who loves his mother. And now I'm your ex-fiancée who's going to Italy. Update 2, 1 week later. The nuclear fallout has been intense. Victoria's dad, Robert, called me Sunday night. I knew this was coming. He's a corporate lawyer, used to getting his way through intimidation. Robert, Derek, what the hell is going on? Victoria's devastated. Me, she wanted to hide my mother at a back table because she didn't fit the aesthetic. I decided I didn't fit the aesthetic either. Don't be smart with me. You've cost us a fortune in deposits. Actually, I've cost myself a fortune. Every deposit was from my account. We paid for things too. You paid for the engagement party. The wedding vendors were all me. Check with Victoria. You're destroying my daughter's reputation over a seating arrangement? Me, your daughter destroyed our relationship when she revealed she sees my family as props to arrange for photos rather than people to honor. This is embarrassing for our entire family. Then maybe you should have raised her better. He hung up on me. Tuesday, Victoria's mom, Diana, tried a different approach. She showed up at my office. Security called up, and against my better judgment, I met her in the lobby. "Derek, sweetheart." Victoria told me everything. She admits she was wrong about Patricia. Completely wrong. She's been in therapy twice this week already. Therapy? It's been 5 days. She's taking this seriously. She wants to be better. For you. For yours no future family. Diana's mask slipped a bit. "You're really going to throw away 4 years over this?" "Yes. That's crazy. You know she loves you." "Me, she loves the idea of me. Successful guy who funds her lifestyle and doesn't complain, but she doesn't respect me or my family. Patricia wouldn't want this. She wouldn't want to be the reason." Don't you dare use my mother's kindness against her." "Yeah, she'd probably tell me to forgive Victoria because she's that good of a person," which is exactly why Victoria's comments were so vile. Diana pulled out her phone. "At least talk to her. She won't eat, won't sleep. Me, not my problem anymore." I walked back to the elevator. Diana shouted after me, "You'll regret this. She was the best thing that ever happened to you." Wednesday was interesting. Apparently, Victoria decided to have a survivor's party instead of the bachelorette party she'd planned. Posted all over Instagram about dodging a bullet, and when someone shows you who they are, believe them. The irony was lost on her. Her bridesmaid squad rallied around her, posting about toxic masculinity and manipulation. One of them, Brittany, posted a long thing about how I was clearly threatened by successful women and had sabotaged Victoria out of insecurity. My buddy Marcus screenshotted everything and sent it to me. "Bro, they're spinning this hard. I didn't care. Let them have their narrative." But then Victoria crossed a line. She posted a photo of my mom from last Christmas. My sweet mother in one of her church dresses, smiling at the camera. The caption, "Some people just can't handle elevating their circumstances. Generational mindsets are hard to break. No judgment though. Know your worth. Stay in your lane." Now I was pissed. I don't do social media much, but I posted once. A side-by-side photo, one of my mom working 2 jobs, studying with me at the kitchen table when I was a kid. I'd scanned it from an old album. The other was Victoria's vision board for the wedding with pictures of designer dresses and luxury items. My caption, "One of these women worked 16-hour days to put me through school. The other wanted to hide her at a back table because she didn't fit the aesthetic. The wedding is off. Use the hashtag Team Patricia if you know what real class looks like." It went mini viral in our circle. Victoria's cousin actually commented Team Patricia with a heart emoji before deleting it an hour later. Thursday, the flying monkeys intensified. Her aunt called my mom directly, trying to guilt her into convincing me to reconsider. Mom shut that down fast. "My son makes his own decisions," she told them. "And I raised him to recognize when someone shows him disrespect." Then came Friday's drama. Victoria had apparently been telling vendors I'd stolen money from her, trying to get them to refuse the refunds. The venue called me to confirm there was no theft involved. "No," I told them. "I have all the receipts showing the payments came from my accounts. She's just angry." The venue manager sighed. "We've had 3 calls from her father threatening legal action. Just wanted to make sure we're in the clear." "You are. The contracts were in my name." That evening, I got a text from an unknown number. It was James, Victoria's ex from before me. "James, heard you escaped. Took me 2 years to recover from her. She tried to make me uninvite my sister from our engagement party because she was plus-sized. Said it would throw off the photos. You did the right thing." I screenshot that one, just in case. Update 3. 2 weeks later. The extinction burst, apparently that's what it's called when someone loses control and goes all out, hit last weekend. Saturday afternoon, I was at my new apartment assembling furniture when I got a call from my mom. She was crying. "Mom, Derek, Victoria's here, at my house, with her parents." "Me what? Don't let them in." "I didn't. They're on my lawn. Diana keeps ringing the doorbell, and Robert he's taking pictures of my house." I drove over there doing 20 over the limit. When I pulled up, sure enough, the whole Blackstone family was on my mother's lawn. Victoria in full makeup and a designer outfit, Diana holding a bouquet of flowers, Robert with his phone out recording everything. "What the hell are you doing here?" Victor running to me. Derek, we need to talk. You won't answer my calls. Me, because we're done. And now you're harassing my mother? We're trying to extend an olive branch. Diana wanted to apologize to Patricia personally. By ambushing her at her home? We brought flowers and an invitation to lunch at the club. My mom appeared in the doorway, looking stressed but holding her ground. I appreciate the gesture, but I'd like you all to leave. Victoria started crying. Patricia, please, tell him to give me another chance. I'm so sorry about what I said. I want you at the head table. You can even bring a +1. The condescension was still there, even in her apology. My mom caught it too. Mom, Victoria, dear, I don't need your permission to exist in my son's life. Now please leave my property. Robert stepped forward. Now let's all calm down. No, you're trespassing. Leave now or I'm calling the police. You wouldn't dare. I pulled out my phone and dialed 911, putting it on speaker. Hi, I need to report trespassing at address. 3 individuals who have been asked to leave multiple times. Victoria's eyes went wide. You're seriously calling the cops on us? The operator confirmed a unit was on the way. The Blackstones scrambled to their Mercedes and peeled out. But not before Victoria screamed out the window. You're gonna die alone, Derek. No one else will ever love you like I did. Promise? I shouted back. My mom and I went inside and had tea. She was shaking a bit. Mom, I'm sorry you're going through this because of me. Mom, no, I'm going through this because Victoria showed me who she really is. You just happened to be her target. That young woman has some serious issues. Yeah, and they're not my problem anymore. We spent the afternoon looking at Italy brochures and planning our trip. Mom had always wanted to see the Sistine Chapel and eat authentic pasta in Rome. We booked first-class tickets, because why not, and a nice hotel near the Vatican. But Victoria wasn't done. Monday morning I woke up to 82 text messages. Not from her, she was still blocked, but from various numbers she'd recruited. Her personal trainer, her hairdresser, her freaking nutritionist, all telling me I was making a mistake. The nutritionist actually wrote, Victoria is perfect marriage material. High-value women like her don't come around often. I replied, high-value women don't insult their future mother-in-law's appearance. Then came the package. Tuesday, UPS delivered a box to my office. Inside, a scrapbook Victoria had made of our relationship, a framed photo of us, and a letter that had to be 10 pages long. I skimmed it. Lots of our love story, meant to be, and working through challenges together. Page 6 actually said, I only wanted the best for our special day. You know I have an eye for these things. That's why you fell in love with me. I make everything beautiful. The narcissism was breathtaking. I threw it all in the office dumpster. Wednesday, she tried a new tactic. Mutual friends. People who'd been radio silent suddenly wanted to catch up. 3 different, hey man, wanna grab a beer, texts in one day. Tom was the most honest about it. Look, Victoria asked me to talk to you. But honestly, after hearing what she said about your mom, I'm on your side. Just wanted you to know. At least some people could see through the BS. Thursday was court papers, not real ones, just a threatening letter from Robert's law firm about potential damages and breach of verbal contract. My lawyer cousin Ashley laughed when I forwarded it to her. Ashley, they have nothing. Also, I looked into it. Victoria owes $11 in credit card debt, and her business has been operating at a loss for 2 years. She needed this wedding more than you did. That explained a lot, actually. Final update. 1 month later, I'm writing this from Rome. My mom is taking a nap after we spent the morning at the Vatican. She cried when she saw the Sistine Chapel. It was worth every penny of that wedding money. But let me wrap up the Victoria saga first. 2 weeks ago, the day before Mom and I left for Italy, Victoria made one last play. She showed up at my office with her friend Cecilia and someone I didn't recognize, a tall guy in an expensive suit. Security called up. I almost said no, then figured let's get this final act over with. Met them in the lobby. Victoria, Derek, this is Nathan. My therapist recommended we meet with a mediator. Nathan's a mediator? Nathan, relationship coach, actually. I specialize in high-value couple reconciliation. I actually laughed. High value? Did Victoria tell you why we broke up? Nathan, confident smile. She mentioned a misunderstanding about family dynamics and wedding planning stress. Me? She wanted to hide my mother at a back table because she didn't fit the aesthetic. Nathan's smile faltered. Well, sometimes we say things we don't mean when stressed. She meant it. She planned it. She defended it. Victoria, that's not... I was thinking about the photos. Me, exactly. You were thinking about photos instead of people. Nathan tried to recover. In my experience, most couples can work through these challenges with proper communication frameworks. How much is she paying you? That's not relevant. Me, it is if you're wasting both our time. There's no framework that fixes someone who sees my mother as a prop to be hidden. Cecilia piped up. Victoria's been doing the work. Show him the list. Victoria pulled out her phone, showing me what looked like a notes app. I made a list of all the things I appreciate about your mom. I glanced at it. Number 3 says she raised Derek well. That's about me, not her. I'm trying. Me, too late. Nathan, perhaps if we could schedule a longer session. No, Victoria, this is the last time I'm going to speak to you. Stop contacting me. Stop contacting my mother. Stop sending your family and friends after us. Move on. Victoria's face crumpled. I can't. I love you. Me, you love what I provided. Status, money, a wedding. You never loved me enough to respect my family. I turned to leave. Victoria grabbed my arm. Victoria, please, the wedding is in 3 weeks. Everything's ruined. My parents are furious. Everyone's laughing at me, and I already bought the dress. Should have thought about that before insulting my mom. Cecilia, you're being cruel. No, I'm being done. I walked away. Heard Victoria sobbing behind me, Nathan awkwardly trying to comfort her. That night, she posted on Instagram, sometimes the universe removes people from your life to protect your peace. Accepting this lesson with grace. Grace, right. The next morning, Mom and I flew to Rome. First class was amazing. Mom kept taking pictures of everything, even the little salt and pepper shakers. To remember, she said. We've been here a week now. Mom's having the time of her life. We did the Colosseum, the Trevi Fountain, she made a wish but won't tell me what, and more pasta places than I can count. She's picked up some Italian phrases and charms every waiter we meet. Yesterday, we were having dinner at this little family place near our hotel when Mom said something that hit me. Mom, you know what the saddest part is? If Victoria had just been kind, I would have worn whatever she wanted. Sat wherever she wanted. I just wanted you to be happy. I know, Mom. But I'm glad you saw her true colors before the wedding. Imagine discovering this after kids. She's right. The bullet I dodged wasn't just a bad marriage. It was years of having my family treated as second class. My kids potentially learning that money and aesthetics matter more than character. Oh, and the update on Victoria? My buddy Marcus sent me screenshots yesterday. Apparently, she's dating Nathan. Yep, the relationship coach. Posted about how the universe works in mysterious ways, and sometimes you have to lose what you thought you wanted to find what you need. They've been together 2 weeks. Already planning a conscious coupling ceremony for the spring. Nathan's ex-girlfriend commented, "Good luck with that. He owes me $3,000 and cheated with 3 clients." The comment got deleted, but not before half our mutual friends saw it. Meanwhile, Robert's been telling anyone who'll listen that I scammed his daughter out of a wedding. Diana's been posting passive-aggressive memes about men who can't handle successful women. And Victoria, she's selling the wedding dress on a resale site. Listed it as never worn, bought for wedding, ruined by narcissistic ex. The listing includes our whole story from her perspective, painting me as the villain who canceled her dream wedding over a tiny misunderstanding about seating. Someone who knows the real story commented asking why she didn't mention insulting the groom's mother. That comment also got deleted. But the best part? Last night at dinner, Mom raised her wine glass and said, "To my son, who knows my worth isn't measured in designer labels." We clinked glasses as the sun set over Rome, and for the first time in months, I felt completely at peace. No wedding stress, no toxic in-laws, no pretentious aesthetics. Just me and the woman who actually deserves to be celebrated. Worth every canceled deposit. Worth every angry text. Worth all of it. Tomorrow we're heading to Florence. Mom wants to see the David. Now that's an aesthetic worth appreciating, she said. She's not wrong. Edit. Since some people asked, yes, I kept the ring. Sold it last week and put that money toward renovating Mom's bathroom. She's wanted a walk-in shower for years. The contractor starts next month. That ring's finally going towards something worthwhile. Edit 2. And for those saying I should have communicated better, I communicated exactly what she needed to know. Her behavior was unacceptable. When someone tells you your mother isn't good enough for their photos, there's no conversation that fixes that. That's not a communication issue, it's a character issue. You don't negotiate with that level of disrespect. Final thought? If your partner ever makes you choose between them and your family, barring actual toxic abusive situations, choose the one who's proven they'll be there for you. In my case, that was the woman who worked herself to the bone so I could have a better life, not the woman who wanted to hide her because she didn't match the decor. Ciao from Rome. Mom says hi.